Hi there guys, here I am for another video, and in today's video we're about to review the most recent comedy that came out in theaters, which I've seen last Thursday. I was unavailable to do a video review upon it, but I feel like this is a movie that is well deserving of a film review from me. And This Is the End, which is a 2013 R-rated 107-minute action comedy. And this is This is from the directors Evan Goldberg and Seth Rogen. Evan Goldberg, who he directed. This is his and Seth Rogen's directorial debut. Evan Goldberg, written a whole bunch of films for the Apatow clan of comedy writers. And then you have Seth Rogen, which I like Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen to me is okay. Basically, Seth Rogen's if you take away the retardedness of you basically take away the retardedness of like a Zach Galifianakis character. They're both different in their own ways, but Seth Rogen's like a less retarded and less likable version of Zach Galifianakis, because Zach Galifianakis I like both of them, but Seth Rogen's just a less retarded and less likable Zach Galifianakis with his comedy, and he's a little bit more mature, so that's good. Now, this film is the second great movie that I've seen this year in theaters. First being Place Beyond the Pines, but that's debatable. Whether it's this year or last year's film. But I like Place Beyond the Pines, and the other films that I've seen in theaters during this slot of 2013 scenes, I don't really like them much, because I've seen Identity Thief in theaters. That was a piece of shit. And then I liked it and all. It had a few good elements, but it's not great. It had a whole bunch of issues. You have, what else? Iron Man 3 was alright. It had its issues. Fast Furious 6 was good. It was a less issued film than the rest I've seen this year. But This Is the End is the second best thing that I've seen this year. It's really funny. It's okay. Practically every moment of this movie made me laugh. Okay, basically the film is if you have all these comedians who pop up in Judd Apatow movies a lot, and just are frequently in modern day comedies. They play themselves like James Franco, but I don't understand why they don't refer to the people as herself on the IMDb page, because I think on IMDb it would have been a lot better, and it's like they don't really give a fuck sometimes. It's like Wes Craven in you have Wes Craven in Wes Craven's New Nightmare, but they credited him as himself. These characters play themselves. What the fuck? it should have just been himself instead of, oh, just James Franco playing a character. James Franco, come on. They're characters, sure they're movie characters, but they're ultimately playing an over exaggerated version of what people's generalization of the character. But anyways, you start the film off with Jay Baruchel, which he's like the most sensitive one out of them, most sensitive and most rational one out of all of them. You have him coming up in this movie when you have Seth Rogen trying to pick him up from the airport, and then they're like smoking weed and just having a fun time together, and then they stop by James Franco's house for a party. Then, for all of you religious nuts, this may or may not offend you because what we realize is that the events of this movie is actually the rapture. The rapture. This is the actual rapture in the biblical book of bullshit called the Holy Bible. Yeah. Then you have funny moments where James Franco goes on a masturbation rant with Danny McBride, and that was a funny bit. The majority of this film is funny. It's a very rare event it's a very rare event when you watch this film to not have a single moment of laughter. Ultimately, I really enjoy the film, but the thing is that James Franco made Danny McBride out to be a dickhead, and I wasn't a real big fan of what they done to Danny McBride in this film because we didn't see him at the party. It's like, I understand that he's a bit of an asshole to you people, but you could have done a lot more instead of just having him be this douchey asshole to people, and then near the end joins this big old cannibal cult. That it's just like, what the fuck? Understand that they could have done. I'm not saying that they should rip themselves off, but they should have done what they done with what's that black guy's name? What's that black guy? They should have done with him. Set up the character as Danny McBride, as they've done, and make him go through the things. Make him do a reversal. Make Craig Robinson out to be, but that could be racially offensive, and could have been like some stereotypical thing. It's hard, but I'm just saying that you could have done something to make him less of an asshole. You just made him an asshole throughout the whole movie, and like, what the fuck? But there is also some really fun moments, like they make their own fake fan-made movie of Pineapple Express 2, where you have them playing the characters, and then some sort of Woody Harrelson nonsense. It just had a good moments. You have Michael Cera being a coked up fuckhead in this film, and then it's just like cool. I don't really understand the title card that they choose to. The moments when it's Jonah Hill being possessed, it's like, okay, when Jonah Hill's being possessed, it's like, okay, Jonah Hill's possessed, But the thing is that is that's not really funny. It's not really funny when he's possessed. It's intimidating. It's intimidating. It's not funny. And it's not funny. And Jonah Hill, they could have done something like, it's just, a few things are off. Wasn't a real big fan of like the Jonah Hill possession scenes. Okay, understand that you have to have your immature comedy, but why do you need to make the demons to be like immature dickheads? Like, come on. You have him having this, seen this shadow figure with a penis about to rape Jonah Hill, and then Jonah Hill gets possessed. It's like, yeah, there's a few issues. And then once they go out into the public where it's all fucked up. I like the way that they made the post-apocalyptic things going. You have the very attractive Emma Watson in it. And no, got there. So yeah, you have the very attractive Emma Watson in here, and then you have some comedy vids. And they didn't really do anything with Emma Watson's, like she didn't really serve any purpose to the film. But ultimately, this film is a very problematic film. It definitely is not deserving of its 8.1 that it got on IMDb. If it were me, I would put just a 7. This is a solid 7. It's not an 8. It's not an 8, but it's a really good idea. It's a really good idea. Really funny, and it has a good elements, some good elements. But ultimately, they failed to do some character interaction scenes. But ultimately, you need to check out this movie. It's funny. Bye.